We have a new lesson today, a reading lesson, The Skunk Ladder, and the third read of the story. It's written by, yes, Patrick F. McMahon. Do you remember the genre of the story? Yes, humorous fiction. Excellent. And what does it mean? Yes, the characters and the events or the action of the story that make you laugh. Excellent. Remember that. This is the cover of the story, The Skunk Ladder, and this is the author names, Patrick F. McMahon. And the question of the week is, how can we find adventure in ordinary events? Humorous fiction has characters and action that make you laugh. And do you remember the character of the stories that we have read? Excellent. Crazy Eddie and the narrator and Mr. Muldoon. The two guys, they felt bored at first, and then they decided to do something interesting for them, so they dig a hole, and we stopped at a point they thought of something maybe is not interesting for them. But before we start reading today, let's double check your homework. And these are the questions of the homework, page 5 I think, in your reading sheet. First one is, how could they make the trap? They cover it with branches and grass. Make true or false. Eddie minded the narrator making a trap. Of course not, so it's false. The hole was deep enough. Yes, exactly, it's true. 8. What did the narrator mean when he said we could barely heave shovelfuls? What means that? It means that the hole was deep enough. Excellent. You could say they can't dig farther. Excellent as well. Or you might say, I just read this, they are not strong enough. It doesn't make sense, but I just wrote it anyway. Question 9 here. Search. Who is Frank Buck? Frank Buck. Did you search? If you did, that's good. If you didn't, so this is the answer. He was a hunter and an animal collector, and he is probably famous for his adventure movies. That was your homework for the last time. So guys, let's get started. Your books, reading books, page 180, yes, and 181. Two options right now, either you listen or read, up to you. Now listen.
One of your father's cows, I put in. Eddie's glow of enthusiasm faded. Yeah, he said, I never thought of that. Both of us stood there silently for a moment, thinking of Mr. Muldoon staring down into the hole at one of his milk cows. It was unpleasant to think about. Tomorrow, we'd better fill the hole back in, Eddie said. How about tonight? Maybe a cow will fall in tonight. Eddie pondered this possibility for a moment. I got it, he said. There's a big old door out behind the barn. We'll drag that down here and put it over the hole. And that is what we did. Before knocking off work for the day, secure in the knowledge that the door would save us from the uncomfortable experience of watching his father undergo one of his fits of hysteria. Early the next morning, Eddie and I...
Okay guys, here, one of your father's cows who said it. Yes, exactly, and the narrator said it. And let me ask you a question here. Why does Eddie's enthusiasm fade? Why? Because the narrator reminded him that one of your father's cows may fall in the hole. So when he said that, what they're feeling after? Yes, they felt worried. Excellent. And let me ask you a good question here. How would Mr. Muldoon feel if a cow fell in the hole? What would Mr. Muldoon feel if one of his cows fell in the hole? Upset. Excellent. What else? Got mad, got crazy. Hey, what you did? I told you, do not do anything without telling me, you see? That's what be Mr. Muldoon's feeling. So they decide what? Excellent. So they decide to fill the hole back in. Oh, but the narrator reminded Eddie as well. Hey, what about tonight? Maybe a cow will fall in it tonight. So what we have to do? Oh, he thought for a little bit. You see, pondered here means thought. with yes, ponder this possibility means thought this possibility for a moment. I got it. Okay, I have an idea. What is it? There is a big old door, but two double consonants. Drop one of them, old door, out behind the barn. We drag it and cover the hole until tomorrow. So we at least feel comfortable for just a little time. You see here that the door would save us from the uncomfortable experience of watching his father undergo one of his fits of hysteria, of craziness, madness. Okay, guys, let's answer this question together. The two boys felt worried, unpleasant, unpleased. These are the feelings. Oh, here, this is a new idiom for you, I think. Knocking off work. What means? Where is it? Go back to the text. Yes, here. And that is what we did before knocking off work. Knocking off work, which means to stop doing something. Stop doing something. And it has another meaning, by the way. Knocking, let me remember, sorry. Yes, knocked off. Knocked off means if someone bothers you, disturbs you, or annoys you, and you would like him to stop, you can say him, knock it off, knock it off, knock it off means stop. Okay, so knocking off work, stop doing something, stop working. This is a question we have already answered, I think. Why does Eddie's enthusiasm fade? Yes, excellent, because the narrator reminded him, or he considers one of his father's cow fall in the hole. Exactly, yes, true. And what did the two boys decide to do though? Yes, what did they decide to hit? Yes, they decided to fill the hole back in. Tomorrow or tonight? Tomorrow they were gonna fill back in, but tonight they cover it with an old door. Excellent. In the first paragraph, find a cause and effect relationship. Here in this paragraph, find a cause and effect relationship. What is it? Something happened, so something happened after it. So what is it? Yes, when they remembered, I can figure out here, when the narrator reminded it is that one of his father's cow may fall in the hole, so it is glow or his feeling of enthusiasm faded. This is one of them. Okay, I hope everything is so clear so far. Next. Listen.
Early the next morning, Eddie and I headed for the big hole, prepared to start the tedious task of undigging it. As we approached the excavation, a familiar odor reached our nostrils. "Must be a skunk around here someplace," Eddie said. "Maybe it's in the hole," I said. "Couldn't be. We covered it with the door." Nevertheless, the skunk was in the hole. He had apparently found an open space under the door, slipped in for a look around, and plummeted the 8 feet or more to the bottom of the hole.
So the guys are ready now to dig or to fill back the hole in. The next morning, Eddie and I headed for the big hole, prepared to start the tedious. Tedious, what does it mean, the word tedious? Any synonym of this word? Yes, boring or taking too long. Yes, exactly. And digging. As we approach the excavation, this word, what does it mean? The activity of digging somewhere. It means excavation, and a familiar odor reached our nostrils. Familiar odor, smell something. Okay, guys. Let me ask you a good question here, and let's see. Anyway. The boy is found in the hole. Found what? A skunk in the hole. Develop language. This is the two words I already told you the meaning. Tedious means boring or taking too long. Excavation, which means, yes, the activity of digging. Excellent. Next questions. Background knowledge. Use your background knowledge. Here in this sentence. Must be a skunk around here somewhere. How does the narrator or Eddie himself, how does he know that there is a skunk around here? How does he know? Yes, do you have any idea? Any information about that? Use your background knowledge. How does he know that? Yes, excellent. You know that the skunk is prey. His smell over everywhere. So, good smell or bad smell? Outdoor smell, that unpleasant smell. Okay. So, another question. How did the skunk get into the hole? How? You got? Yes, excellent. He found. Where is the mouse? Yes, he found an open space under the door. Okay, he found an open space under the doors and he slipped it for a look around and he plummeted, which means fall suddenly. Okay guys, next, the last paragraph.
He did not seem to be frightened of us. Even stranger, for we did not know that skunks were great diggers, he had hollowed out a huge cavern under one side in an attempt to dig his way out of the hole. We can't fill in the hole with a skunk in there, I said. How are we going to get him out?
We are going to get him out. The skunk, by the way. What do you think they cannot get it out? We did not know so far. And before we start the questions, what does mean the highlighted word means? Cavern and an attempt. Do you remember? Yes, good. Let's see. Text evidence. Tell me, how do you know that skunks are great diggers? How do you know? Go back to the text. When I say text evidence, back to the text. Yes, here he had hollowed out a huge cavern under one side in an attempt to dig his way out of the hole. So he was trying to escape from the hole, but did he succeed? Nope, he did not succeed. The skunk himself did not succeed to get out of the hole. So the answer of this question is he had hollowed out a huge cavern under one side in an attempt to dig his way out of the hole. Next question, the highlighted words. What does it mean? Cavern means huge, cave, excellent. Attempt means a try with a good and or a great effort. Yes. And the last question, predict. How are they going to get the skunk out of the hole? What do you think? Give me your possible answers, and you tell me. And tomorrow, next time, inshallah, we discuss it together. I thank you everyone for watching. Stay home, stay safe, and take care. Assalamu alaikum.